highest paying salaries in Canada currently would be the specialized industries, like industries that have to do with extensive education, and that's talking about the medical field, because those people spend a lot of time in school. So like an anesthesiologist goes home with as much as $385,000 per year.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Ogi, and on this channel, we talk about lifestyle, we talk about immigration, and we guide you on how you can move abroad. So, if this is what interests you, please kindly subscribe, like this video, share it to your friends and family that you know will benefit from it.
Hi guys, my name is Lillian Oja, and if you're looking to immigrate to Canada or any country in the world, then my channel is the best channel for you. You want to be subscribed to my channel. So today we're going to be taking you on a ride. Just stay tuned and you'll be blessed.
It's really a different kind of video where we are checking out the different things in our different countries, and then we compare and know exactly what Canada and the UK is all about. At least this video will actually help you know exactly what to expect in these countries. Okay.
So the first thing on our list today is going to be let's talk about rent. Now, I'm going to be talking about rent because this is like the major chunk, that I said the major or the most important, or let me say the biggest, factor when it comes
Exactly.
to your income. It takes the largest chunk of your income. So we're going to talk
Exactly.
about rent. Now, okay, for the UK, what is the average rent like for like a one bedroom, to a two bedroom or a three bedroom? What's it like for the UK?
Okay. Basically in every country, rent is mostly dependent on where you find yourself. Like I'm living in the northern part of England, and it's deemed one of the most affordable places in England. There are places that are affordable. If you really want to get places that are affordable, you go to Northern Ireland. You go to Wales. Is not so affordable, but it is. Then in England, it depends on where you are in England. In London, oh, you're spending almost everything you have in rent. So down here in the northern part, the southern part is more expensive. In the northern part, I live in a three-bedroom. It's a house, not even a flat. And I pay £725.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yes, it is. I pay £725, and I live in a band A house that the the council tax is not so much. So you have to consider the council tax you're going to pay. You have to consider if the house, the EPC rating, you need to check out the rating. You need to be sure that it's not below a band C rating. This will help you save a lot of cost, because during winter you will need to heat the house up.
Mm-hmm.
So just like I said earlier, where I'm staying, I'm paying £725, and it's three bed masters. There's a master bedroom. You have um two toilets and two bedrooms. So it's
Uh,
all dependent on where you are staying.
yeah,
In London, my dear, it's a whole lot of money, depending on how many rooms you've got. Some pay as high as 1,500 or 2,000. So it's just dependent on the the area.
hmm. All right. For Canada, I don't know, but I'm not in Toronto. That's one of the expensive provinces to come to when it comes to Canada. I'm not in Toronto. I'm not in Vancouver. I'm not in BC. But then I'm in Alberta, and Alberta used to be one of the you want to have good vibes, and then you want to live be within a budget, you come to Alberta. But then recently, because of the influx of people to Alberta from Toronto, BC, and the rest, the rent has
Yes.
started to increase. So I won't consider Alberta cheap or relatively cheap anymore. Alberta is now expensive. So I stay in a two-bedroom apartment, okay?
Okay.
And one of the reasons why we decided to take a two-bedroom was because I'm not a physically strong person. So before coming here, I was like, I don't want a big house. I cannot clean. So I
A lot of
insisted for
work.
my husband that he gets a two-bedroom flat. So I stay in a condo, two-bedroom, and we pay about 1,600 for rent.
Wow.
1,600 Canadian dollars per month. And this is aside parking because we park on the ground. If you don't want to park on the ground, you can park outside and you don't have to pay for parking. But we pay for parking because we park on the ground. So we pay an extra $60 per month for that. So
Wow.
that's just on rent. So it's $1,660 per month. Now, this is us that came 9 months ago. The people who
Mm,
came after us, people who came like last month or this month, the same building, because we have several buildings,
mhm,
in where I stay, this owned by the same or managed by the same facility people, right? They
mhm.
are paying for the same two-bedroom. They are paying $2,000.
What?
I pay 1,600. They are paying $2,000 for the same two-bedroom apartment. Nothing has changed. So what
Oh.
this means is that Alberta is getting expensive now,
Mhm.
guys. This is because I'm in the northwest part of Alberta, which is considered like the high blue part. Okay, there are other parts of Alberta or Calgary, sorry, that you can stay and pay less. Okay, so for the average cost of rent here, for a one bedroom, can get as low as $700
Okay.
to at least 1,004. Now, depending on the suburb, the area, the location of the apartment. For a two-bedroom, you can get like 1,004, okay, or 1,003 to
Mm.
1,008 or 2,000. Just depends on the location, the kind of house, and all of that. Then for a three-bedroom, you can get from 1,700 to about $2,500. So this is relative, but there are some provinces, right, that are considered, not very popular, where you can get cheaper, accommodation. Like
Yeah.
provinces like the New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is not really cheap anymore. Some parts of Nova Scotia, like Halifax, is very expensive. But if you consider other suburbs, you find something cheap. If you go to Manitoba, you find something less. If you go to Prince Edward Island, you will find something less. So, there are still places where you will find cheap accommodation, right? 500, 400 for a one bed,
Oh,
and you'll
oh,
be fine.
that's
So
good.
you need to do a good research before you come to any of
Exactly.
these countries. That's what I would say. Ask
Mhm, that's
questions, go on Google, type, find out, and then you'll be able to make a good decision.
yeah. Exactly. Basically, migrating to any country requires a lot of research if you actually want to get the best.
Mm-hmm,
That's just what it's all about. People
mm-hmm.
need to make more research for them
Yeah,
to be able to go to somewhere they can afford.
yeah.
If you can afford those places that are expensive, by all means, you're
Why
free
not?
to go there.
Why
Yeah.
not? So now let's talk about salaries. Okay, let's talk about salaries. Let's hear you.
Okay. In the United Kingdom, it's all dependent on the kind of job you're doing. The minimum wage in the United Kingdom is £10 42, and they increase this every year by April, by the 6th of April next year, being 2024. They are going to increase it. In fact, they've already mapped out how much they are going to increase it to. So it all depends on what you are doing. And then it also depends on if you are a if you're in a permanent role. If you're in a permanent role, you get to they get to pay you lesser than someone working with an agency or on a contract. People on contract or working with an agency, they they tend to earn higher. So it all depends on what you are doing and then who you are working for. But the minimum wage of the United Kingdom in 2023 is £10 42 pence.
Hmm. So can you say that an average individual can survive on that minimum wage?
Yes, just like we're talking about accommodation, what you are aiming, you need to look at that before you choose where you will stay. Let's say, for instance, most healthcare workers, especially the healthcare assistants, most of them, depending on the role you are playing and where you are working, most of them in the basic, a bit above the minimum wage, just a little bit above the minimum wage. I always encourage people in such roles to look for somewhere affordable.
Mm-hmm.
They can take care of themselves with such amounts. It can cover a lot of things, but you need to look for somewhere you can pay rent at an average rate. You don't need to look for somewhere you need to pay more, because you can't be working as a healthcare assistant and you'll be living in London. It doesn't make sense
Mm-hmm.
unless your partner, if you're married and your partner is earning way above you. Working in London and earning as a healthcare assistant, paying your rent in London with such amounts wouldn't be something great. So just look out for somewhere you can afford. That's it. But to me, that amount can take care of you, pay for your basic needs, and you can still be able to save something out of it.
That's fine. Okay, for us here, just going to share based on statistics. Data I got from statistics. Statistics. English is difficult, guys. Statistics Canada, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
the average, the average salary for an average Canadian or someone who lives in Canada is about 46,900, and this is based
Okay.
on Statistics Canada. I'll try to leave a link below in the
Yeah.
description. Now, according to Indeed, right, the highest paying salaries in Canada currently would be the specialized industries, like industries that have to do with extensive education, and that's talking about the medical field, because those people spend a lot of time in school. So, like an anesthesiologist, if you're an guys, just take it the way I pronounce anesthesiologist, right? Goes home with as much as $385,000 per year.
Oh,
That is crazy money. Do the maths and
crazy
divide
one.
monthly and see. Now, not a lot of people come see close to this amount of money, but that's how much they
Exactly.
go home with. Now, the next highest paying salaries that we can find in Canada would be the tech industry. Those in the tech and data entry industries, we're talking about the
Yeah.
project managers, we're talking about the
Yes,
DevOps,
business
software
analyst.
developers, business
Mm-hmm.
analysts. Those are the next set of people that earn a lot here in Canada. Now, their average salary would go from 84,000 to about $150,000. Now, depending on the company, depending on your
Yeah.
experience as well. So these are the next set of people that earn a lot. So I would say that the average, or sorry, the minimum wage in Canada, in Alberta, because in Canada it's based on province. So the minimum wage for Alberta will be different from Toronto, will be different from New
Oh,
Brunswick, will be different from Nova Scotia. So I'm talking about my where I am, which is Alberta. Okay, the
yeah.
minimum wage in Alberta is $15 per hour.
Wow.
And with that amount, I would say if you're an individual, a single person, if you're earning that kind of income and you live minimalistically, yes, you can survive here in Canada. And if you're two on that, like you have a partner, okay, who also has a minimum wage job, then better for you guys, okay? So you can actually live with that amount as long as you're cutting your quotes according to your, how do you put this? So everything will be good. So that's how it is here.
Yeah,
You can survive on that and gain more experience, improve yourself to get better jobs. That's what I'll say.
of course.
So now, let's move on to the third one, which has to be. Let's talk about transportation. What's
Oh,
transportation like? Let me go first, okay? In Canada, the transportation system is not as good as the UK. The UK has a very high level of transportation. I've been to the UK, so I know what it is. You can actually
Yes,
live in the UK without owning a car and you will be fine. Guys,
yes,
in Canada, except you're living in the high bros like Toronto, Vancouver, BC, it might not work for you if you're living in other provinces without a vehicle. It will
really.
be tough. I'm not saying you won't be fine, but it will be tough for you. Now,
Mm,
um, so if you're coming to Canada, okay, I would advise that you save money or keep money aside for buying a vehicle, a car. You need it. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity here, especially when you have kids and you need to, move from commute from one place to the other. The buses are not very, regular, and when they even come, they come late. You will miss, and you will stay in the cold because this place is cold. So imagine staying outside with your kids, very very cold, freezing, iced weather,
waiting
and
for,
you're waiting for
oh
a
my
bus
God.
that has not that you don't even know when it will come. So, and it takes you a longer time to commute when you're going with the bus. So, but if you have no choice, if you're coming here on a budget, you don't have money yet to buy a car, that's fine. You can get a bus pass for between $80 to about $100 monthly. So if you get the bus pass, you can use this for the month, and it helps you access trains, buses, without paying any extra. And there are some programs that even allow you get discounts further. So instead of paying 80 to 100, you can pay about 50, $40 per month to access these things monthly. So when you come in, you need to ask questions, and then you get all this information. Over to
Okay.
you.
So, but do you the paying for that transport? Where exactly are you going to make use of that transportation you paid for? You got for like £80 and the rest.
All around your province,
Oh, good,
yes, in your locality, you can go anywhere with that amount
good.
for the whole month. Yes.
Okay. It's just like the UK. You can just get a ticket, your bus pass, and you make use of it for the month. You can get for the day. Most times, down where I live, if you want just for a day, you can pay £4.50, and you can decide to take the bus for the whole of the day. If you like, enter 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's asking you for
Mm-hmm.
anything again. So, the truth is, yes, the transportation system of the United Kingdom is okay, though it's not same everywhere, but at the same time, it's not bad. It's not so bad in those places. They know exactly when their buses are coming out, and they can wait for it and take the bus. Um, you can come into the UK without having a car. Then, with time, you'll be able to get a car and start driving. When I came into the UK, I didn't buy a car outrightly. I just waited for my family to arrive, because I know that taking the children here and there without a car wouldn't be easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it will even be easier for me to go to work and come back easily, to come home and stay with them. You understand? So I had to get a car immediately they arrived. But all the same, a car is a necessity everywhere, even in the UK. Yeah, that's just it. The people that most times they don't even talk about getting a car, is people in London. They do get a car, yes, but most times they check some things and they end up not buying a car. You're coming out and you're getting a bus immediately. In fact, their transportation system over there is way more better than some other parts of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So in those parts of the United Kingdom, you see that people there try as much as possible to get a car for them to get to where they are going to easily and faster.
So,
Meanwhile, is buying a car expensive in Canada?
no, it's not expensive. At least I know someone who she's single. She just finished school, and she was able to get a car for, I think, £1,800. Sorry, $8,800 Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, she got the
Oh,
car for
that's
that,
good.
and she has been so far so good. She has driven the car for 8 months. and
Oh,
she's
that's
fine.
good.
No issues, nothing. Cars actually, you can in Canada you can get cars for most of the cars that they ship to Africa come from either the USA or Canada.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they are like this auction. I don't know how they do a lot of auction stuff here. Because people when during the winter they have a lot of accidents, right? And most of the
Mhm.
time these whites do not want to drive the cars anymore. Once an airbag has been exploded, once something has been deployed, they just
Yeah.
refuse to drive. So these cars are taken to Africa as um what do I call it, scraps. So you can buy
Yeah.
cars like very cheap here in Canada. Yes, you can.
Oh,
It's
really?
when they
That's
ship it
good.
out to Africa and place customs charges and all that it becomes really expensive. But here, if you're
Yes,
buying it to drive it here, it's cheap. It's not so expensive. Now that also depends on the kind of vehicle you're buying and the year.
exactly.
So all that should be
Exactly.
consideration. So now let's talk about the healthcare system in both countries. I'm going to allow you go first, and then I'll come in. Let's talk about healthcare. How is the healthcare in the UK?
The healthcare in the UK is not bad, at least from my experience. It's not bad at all. In several occasions, I've um called them for them to attend to my children, and I was able to get the attention that I needed as fast as possible. So most times, just like I say, it depends on where someone is living. If the area you're living is crowded, most times you end up not getting appointments as soon as you want. You understand? The UK generally has a good healthcare system. They are doing well and it's free. Um, like if you're working in the healthcare sector and you're an immigrant, they don't pay health surcharge. The people that are not in healthcare sector, they pay for health surcharge, but you can't compare what people are paying in healthcare surcharge to what you will gain out of the healthcare sector if anything happens.
How much do they pay
And
for such as
they're planning to increase it by January to 1,000 pounds plus.
per person?
Recently, yes, for 1 year. For 1 year.
Wow,
Seriously, it's expensive.
it's
It's
a lot.
expensive. Right now, it's still
Hmm.
600 and it's expensive. That's for people that are immigrants. If you get your indefinite leave to remain, which you people call PR as well, if you get it out, if you're a citizen, you don't pay anything when it comes to healthcare. So the immigrants make most of these payments,
Hmm.
and then our tax takes care of the rest. So the healthcare system is working. If you have any emergency, just expect to see them immediately. They don't waste time.
Hmm.
So far, so good. They have been doing well, I must say, and they keep trying to reform the system.
Hmm. Okay, for Canada, the healthcare system is free. Yeah, it's free. The government actually takes care of the insurance for people in Canada. As long as you have a legal stay in Canada, the government
Wow.
covers your healthcare. Okay, now this covers your consultation, your visits to the doctors, but it does not cover the medications that you get. Now, you are not paying anything, you're not paying a surcharge, you're not paying any other thing. But if you have to visit a doctor, it's free. If you have to consult with a doctor, it is free. But if they prescribe a medication for you, now, if you're going to run a test, it's also free. So after the test is done and they need to prescribe a medication for you, you have to pay for your medication. Usually it's not a lot. So that's the only part that I found, when I came, I said, I thought they said it's free. Why do I have to still pay for medication?
It's same,
However,
it's same in the UK. You pay for
oh, okay,
medication.
really.
Yes.
So however, if you have a job, a good job, not even a good job, most job, like the one I would do, I won't consider my job a very good job, but my job is okay. I'll consider it okay, like medium. I'm in the average, right? I'm not in the tech, I'm not in the medical field, but I'm in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with my job, I have my insurance covered. I have an insurance. My husband is in the tech, right? So he has an extensive insurance coverage. So for anything we do not pay. Even if it has to
Good.
do with surgery, we do not pay. It's covered fully by the medications, any kind of thing I do. Even my family planning, everything is covered by the insurance. So it all
That's
depends.
good.
If you are coming without, if you don't have a job yet, you have your insurance covered by the government. If you get a job, you now have to find out if your job would give you, insurance. Now, some of this insurance covered by the companies and do not cover dental because dental is really expensive. But some
Wow.
companies cover dental. My husband's company covers insurance covers dental. So some most companies will not cover dental. So all of these things are things you need to find out from your employer when you get employed. But overall, the healthcare system in Canada is working, is good.
Mm, good.
Like she said, it's the same thing. If you're in a location where it's crowded, you find it. Your appointments might not come. If you need to see a doctor now, you might not get an appointment today. But if you're in a less
Exactly.
busy location, you
Mm-hmm.
call in and you ask to come in when you need to come. So
Exactly.
that is the same thing everywhere, I think. And for a society that is working, I think it's only necessary for there to be orderliness. So it's only
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So we see now that people need to go to places that are less
That is
crowded.
that is actually the problem.
Seriously,
That is the
because
that is
a
the
lot of
the
challenges,
mm,
you keep hearing them complaining here and there.
mm,
Getting an appointment is difficult.
mm,
Oh,
as well.
I don't know.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the final thing, which has to do with
Okay.
community life, lifestyle, community life. What's the community life in the UK like? I know that I already know what it is, but I want to hear from you. What is the community life in the UK like?
Uh, the UK lives a great community life, and like where I stay. Recently, we had a party, and we had a Nigerian party, and a lot of community life is happening here. That's the truth. People bond a lot, and we have. This is somewhere that you will be, and you won't say, I'm missing my country and I have not seen what I want to eat that is from my country here. No, the UK, you have all these things here. It's just like your home. It's
Mm,
just like your home. And when you need a helping hand, if you're that person that comes out, because most times the challenges people have are people that withdraw themselves completely. They don't want to associate. They're not even looking out for anybody. They just want to walk and go home. You understand? So it's really a challenge for those kind of people. But if you're someone that comes out, if you're someone that joins different groups and look out for others, definitely you're going to get help when you need one. And you have a lot of parties to go for, birthdays, um, Christmas party, and the rest. So there are a lot of community life going on here. You need people, you can get people to help you out when you need help. So
that's good.
that's it.
All right, for Canada, I would say it's a bit different now, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, Canada is really big, big, massive. Now, if you need to get to a different province, right? Not in your province, you want to travel within Canada, but you want to go to see someone in a different province, you might spend as much as $400-500 to just for flights. That's aside your airport ride and all of those things you do within the city. So
Wow.
Canada is big. Now I live in Alberta, and we needed to go visit see someone in the same Alberta. We drove for 3 hours.
What?
Yes, I'm just trying to tell you how big. So because of the large expanse of land, people are located in different parts of Canada. So you might be in the same province, but guy, you won't see yourself in 1 year because of the distance. When you think of how much fuel you have to you have to fill your car to drive to see someone. You take a chill pill. You relax. You won't go. So I would say in Canada, you need to be more intentional to keep friends. You need to
Yeah.
be intentional, because when you start looking at all of these costs, it might not allow you to do, some of this socializing. So if you want to socialize, you guys need to plan. You need to be intentional. You need to think about it. Now, a lot of people here want to walk, 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 walk because of that thing, because they don't have a lot of time to socialize. So they just use that time to work. And because they
Yes.
work, they hardly find time to socialize. So if you want to come here, I would say you should join local assembly. If you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you want to
Mm-hmm.
join a local assembly, you want to serve in that local assembly. So if you're someone who goes to church, you want to join a department, you want to be committed. That is one way to start making friends. And then from there, you begin to build a community. Like you said, in that community, there are a lot of, get-togethers, gatherings, Christmas parties here
Exactly.
and there. It would happen, but it will not happen if you don't come out and mix up. If you sit
That's
in
it.
your, because in your building, you can be living with a lot of Nigerians, but you would not even know any
Know
of them
them.
because you don't
That's
even see
it.
them. So you have to be very intentional. So I would say the community life here is a bit different from the UK. In the UK, Nigerians are everywhere. You can see them. You're walking on the street, you're seeing them. But here, it might depend on where you are. You might not see
Mhm.
a lot of blacks. I went to a Walmart in Edmonton, which is in Alberta, one time, and I went to that Walmart and I didn't see a black. I spent almost an hour. I didn't see a black. It was my first time not seeing that. And blacks, there are a lot of blacks here. And I was telling my husband, how can I come to Walmart and not see a black? It has not happened to me in Calgary. Why am I? But it happens because people are spread across, and the land
Yes.
is so big. So Canada is a bit. It can get a bit boring. Not for me. It depends on who you are. For me, I even tell myself that 24 hours
Exactly.
is not enough, because by the time I finish dealing
Exactly.
with my children, dealing with my work, I don't even have time to say I'm bored. I'm not bored. I'm never a bored person. But there's some people that
Yes.
are social butterflies back from where they're coming from. So when they come here, especially single people, they find it difficult to adjust. But I'll tell you, if you're able to join groups, networking groups, volunteer groups, those are the places you can meet people, create great relationships, and start having this community life. That's what I would say.
Yeah, just like you said, even the UK can be boring to a lot of people. Some people are just busy working and they don't want to socialize.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, we need to be intentional about these things for it to happen. And even though visiting people in different locations is not as expensive as you just said it is in Canada,
Mm.
but you can see some siblings that are living in different parts of the United Kingdom, and they've not seen themselves for 1 year or more. So,
Mm.
before you can achieve these things, you need to be intentional
Mm.
about them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. You need
Mm.
to be intentional.
All right. Let's talk about one more thing.
Okay.
And every immigrant who relocates from their home country, one of the reasons why they do is because not because they want to leave their home country, it's just for one thing, which is, having a second, citizenship. That's actually the goal of everyone who has left their home country to relocate to
Yes.
a different country. So let's talk
Mhm.
about this. This is the final one. How is it
Okay.
for the UK to
Okay.
getting to become a citizen of the UK? What do you think is the very fast, as in, let's just hint on it and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, for the UK, it's all dependent on the route you came in with. If you came in as a student, um, if you just did your, let's say, your masters and then straight into your post study work visa, it might take you, generally as a student, it might take you 10 years for you to get your indefinite leave to remain. But if as a student at any point you switch from being a student to a skilled worker, from that moment you switched from being a student to a skilled worker, it will take you 5 years to get your indefinite leave to remain, and then 1 extra year to get your citizenship. But if you came in as a skilled worker, it will take you 5 years to get your indefinite leave to remain, and then 1 extra year to become a citizen.
Okay.
But there are still some visa category that might take you 3 years for you to get the indefinite leave to remain, like the global talent visa. The global talent visa, there are two options. If you merit the one of 3 years, you will get the one of 3 years. And if you merit the one of 5 years, they will give you the one of 5 years. That will take you to the indefinite leave to remain. And then one extra year for you to become a British citizen.
Okay, fair enough. For Canada, if you come in directly as a permanent resident, because you know you can actually apply
Yes.
directly to be a permanent resident from your home country. So if you're coming
Oh,
in as a PR, it just takes you 3 years of remaining in Canada to become a citizen. So that's actually the fastest of everything. If you come in
yeah.
as a student, now depending on the course of study, if you come in as a student and you do a 1 year course, you are eligible to get a 1 year postgraduate work permit. So once you are done with school and you're able to get your postgraduate work permit, you can apply for permanent residence, right? Now, if you get a
Mhm.
permanent residence, it then means that you need 3 more years to remain in Canada as a PR to get your citizenship. So in total, 4 years. Now, if you have a
Wow.
2 years course, that adds you another one extra year. So it means it's a 5 years.
Mhm.
Now, if you come in as a worker, right,
Mm.
you
Yes.
just need to work for at least a year, and
Mhm.
then you can apply for PR and then stay for 3 years and then get your PR. Now, but the thing about the Canada immigration thing is that it is well outlined. It's very straightforward. You know what it is for you from the get-go. So
Exactly.
once you apply for this, you know that this is this. You need to do this to get this. You need to do this to get this. Place one and two together, you get to three or get to four. So that's it. So I think with all of these things we've shared today, it would help you, encourage you. There's no country that is best. Actually, let me tell you the truth, guys.
There, that's the
The first
truth.
thing you need to think about is where does God want me to go to? That's the most important thing I always tell people. Where does God
Mhm.
want me to go to? Think about it, pray about it. Once you have a conviction, with the information we've shared today, you can you can put one and two together to make an informed decision on what country you want to go to. If you're watching us for the first time, you want to subscribe to our channels. Our channels are the best places you want to be in if you're looking to
Yeah.
immigrate to a country of the world.
So, guys, I would always say if you want to migrate to any country, you don't need to spend a whole lot of money. These channels can help you get what you want. You need to make research, bury yourself in research, and you see that it's not as difficult as most people make it look. You can locate to any country of your choice as long as you have the information you require. That's just the basic thing. And then you see yourself where you are going to. But always remember to pray about it. That's the most important. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.
All right.